Welcome, everyone. I'm Wake, your host for Shaman to Shaman, where we bring you interviews, shaman to shaman, healer to healer, teacher to teacher, with shamanic earth-based healers and teachers from around the world, people just like you. As you experience our session today with Celine Roche, a Shamans Directory member, our hope is that this personal offering will resonate with you and impact your life in a meaningful way. That this experience will inform you about a way of being that contributes to the resolution of individual, family, community, and global concerns. And that this discussion today will inspire you to add shamanic sessions and experience to your life, to build a shamanic community together. Shaman to Shaman is brought to you by Shamans Directory, a dynamic online resource for lineage-based shamans to share themselves, build community, and change the world. To learn more, you can visit online at shamansdirectory.com, on social media, and on the YouTube channel. Today, I'm honored to welcome Celine Roche to introduce herself to the Shamans Directory community. Welcome, Celine.
Thank you, Wade. Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor, and really, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share about myself. And so I want to thank you, and I want to thank you, the Shaman Directory team that is doing a wonderful, wonderful job. So thank you all. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. I mean, this is what Shamans Directory is all about, is getting to know one another. So let's start at the beginning, Celine. How did you come to the shamanic path?
Well, it started, my journey to discovering myself started after, started very early on. I just got to know that while, learning about shamanism. But I would say that there's definitely a tipping point in my life. I was 30. It was in 2005. I had a major skydiving accident. I shattered my heel. So it was a very big injury. And as I passed out during this event, it felt like I was connected to two times and two places. So as I hit the ground really hard, I saw myself landing with a round parachute in a field during World War II. So it was very, very vivid, the images. I mean, the pain, I was feeling the same pain. And I really felt a lot of compassion for this person because I knew that the paramedics would come. Actually, I just had a conversation with my friend the day before the accident, and they were telling me how fast the morphine would come with the paramedics. So, I mean, it's incredible. I knew that. So it really helped me when I hit the ground. And what I felt is a compassion for that other person that I was in this other time and place. So I really felt the compassion for this parallel experience. It was very, very powerful. And from there, things changed. Again, it was a very, turning point for me. It was very, very important because that's when I got to reconnect with what was very important for me, and that was my contribution. And I had to have this experience. It was very authentic for me. It was very true. And the past, the few months after the accident weren't fun at all. It took me, more than a year to recover. But I don't think it was about the physical pain. It was the heart calling, really calling for what it wanted, what the soul wanted. And that was this contribution. And the contribution could be realized, knowing myself better. That was very, very clear. So I embarked on a discovery journey for 5 years. It was very disciplined. It was very long. And I was very involved in this training, which then led me to my teacher, Marilyn Graman. And so I've been working with her for 15 years now. And again, we've done a lot of work together, and it came to a point where she introduced me to shamanism. So it made a lot of sense. It was very organic in my journey, very, very organic. And she taught me a lot. So I'm very grateful for all of her teachings. And what was very also special is that it was a very intimate group. It was 2 or 3 of us. So I really want that for others to experience and to have this intimacy of work. So I do work. I love to work one-on-one, and I love the energy also of a circle, of a group. Yes, and then after this experience, I also learned with Nan Moss. She's a shaman teacher with the Foundation for Shamanic Studies, and yeah, so it's been wonderful. And you know, this whole experience is beyond the practice itself. It opened so many interests. I find fascinating now to learn about history, about geography, about, you know, so many different subjects. It transformed my life in so many ways, and I'm very grateful for all of that, even though, you know, I had to go through very hard um, lessons, very hard, and all of those helped me today to even more depth into my work and into my practice.
Thank you for telling us about your history and your approach to shamanism and the many teachers that you've benefited from. I'm interested in the Harner approach because I know that you offer quite a few different experiences, from journey to past life regressions, extractions, soul retrievals, power animal work, divination, drum healing. I've probably forgotten a few, but that feels like the Harner community to me, and I wonder if you could tell us about that. What is that approach, or what's unique about that particular type of work?
Well, I think that it was, you know, one way for me to learn, you know, and what I really appreciate is, you know, all that I can share today with my clients. That's really an abundance of various ways to learn about journeying work. So that's very, very beautiful. And I can work with people who don't know about shamanism, as well as people who are a little more advanced. And I also create my own work with the element of the Harner method. But yeah, so what's first of all, what's amazing are the teachers and the community that got to be created around those gathering. You know, I've been working with some people for 5 years now. You know, we meet from a digital standpoint, but still we meet once a month and we work together. So the work that we accomplish is really beautiful. So and efficient. So this community that comes with that is incredible. And then the work is a work that is, it's core shamanism. So it takes definitely inspiration from, you know, some tradition, the one that Michael Harner worked with. But it's a way to approach the work that is more neutral and universal. And with that, which I've practiced, you know, for a very long time, now I'm also discovering shamanism from Mongolia. So, you know, I can talk about that a little bit, but just to say, with the link with Michael Harner and the teaching, is that I feel prepared also to engage in something more specific, something that is linked with a tradition that's very old, like Mongol shamanism. So it's compatible, very compatible as well. And I had an experience this year where I was in Mongolia, and in my heart, what resonated was my shamanic community in the US, and it was very powerful. My teacher, I was thinking about Nan Moss as I was in the middle of Mongolia, so it was very powerful. And then later this year I was in the US practicing with my community from the foundation, and what was calling is the new community that I got to experience and share with in Mongolia. So it seems like I love this universality, and I love connecting and creating this connection, because it's very important today that we, when welcomed, that we get to work together. That's very, very special and very unique. So again, I'm very grateful for all of that. And yes, it seems like no matter what the teaching, what's important for me is all the community that I create along the way.
That's beautiful, Celine. I really hear that there are communities around the globe who are discovering and practicing various forms of shamanism. And I think it's true that each one of us gets a start in certain ways, and then we have more exposure and more experience, and the trail leads to different pathways. Tell us a little bit more about the Mongolian shamanism, if you would, and what influence might that have on a client who may work with you?
Wow, this is it's a big subject, and it's still a bit recent for me. However, again, with the experience that I've gained over the years, it's well, there's a before Mongolia and after Mongolia. It's such a powerful land. People are beautiful. They are powerful. They are, I got to experience meeting with a lot of people, a lot of shamans, and it was a very unique experience to be invited that way. And the way I got to, I want to acknowledge the a few people who allowed me to have this experience. I met Celeste Lagioia and Celestin Mukanda. They both belong to the Circle of Wisdom here in France. It's a beautiful organization that welcome traditions from all over the world once a year. So it's absolutely remarkable, the work that they do. So I met Celeste and Celestin, and they through them I got to experience almost a month there this past summer. But what's also very valuable, and that's a value that I learned through the teaching of grandmother Shingi Sayangat when I was there, is to write all the work that is done, to register all the work that is being done. That was very, very fascinating for me, and how they are able to say, this is what we've done, this is what we've done through the practice, this is the land that we cleaned, this is the people that we helped, this is, it's very powerful in that way. So what I wanted to say, that thanks to this experience, I'm also more careful with the communities, I pay more attention. I pay more attention to how we work. I question much more. But why is that, by the way? Why is that? Because I've seen things that are different from what I've learned as well. So, and I feel it very, very dynamic, because I ask questions a lot to all of my dear friends. And in my practice with my clients, I do not teach what I've learned at all. However, it shows in my practice, and I know it, so they can know it, because they don't know how it was before. But for me, it's just amplified, expanded, and I would say the most obvious, if I can say, because it wouldn't make justice to the whole experience, but I would say it's my relationship with my drum that I thought it was powerful before, but it brought it to an all new level. You know, the drum is very important. It's their carrier to the world of spirits. So yes, something that happened to my drum there, and in my relationship to the work that I do, and so I would say that's powerful. But also, again, it's like everything expanded. So I've been, and that's definitely, that was taught to me by the foundation. Singing was very, I don't know what to sing. Like, I don't know what to sing, like to go on, to be a singer. However, I am a singer. I heal through my voice. The spirit, speaks through my voice. And that has really been impacted during my trip. So it's like everything was awakened in a powerful way there. So yes, I experienced that with my client. Yeah, definitely.
Would you say, Celine, that you have a specialty to your practice? Is there a certain type of work you do or client you work with that most enlivens you?
Well, there's a lot, but what I can share is, first of all, it's so moving when someone is open to the work. It is the most beautiful, I would say, confirmation that I'm working towards my soul alignment, first of all. So it's very moving, it's very deep to have that experience, to be aligned. And then I would say that I love divination. I really love divination. I had an experience when I was a kid. I was maybe not even 8. I was at my home and I took a stone and I saw there, I closed one of my eyes and I was looking through the stone, and the stone taught me how to see through the layers. So I went into a journey, a vision, and I saw the stone showed me how the world we live in could be a stone itself, and then another stone, and then another stone, and another. So it was endless. And I realized that what I was saying was not maybe what I was saying. So I started to question that very early on. And the stone gave me that teaching. So it was very, very powerful. And I never really thought about this until I was, later, and when I was introduced and initiated to shamanism. And it's amazing how those memories are so deeply, rooted. It's very powerful. I remember, like, if it was yesterday, I know exactly where I was standing. I know exactly which direction I was. I know I was facing that mountain. What was on my right? What was on my left? How I put the stone in front of my eyes and close the other one. I mean, I was 8 years old, so that's 40 years ago. So it's such a powerful work. So I love to work, I love to work with divination, and there's so many ways to do divination, so many ways. So I love to learn about those, and I love to teach also divination. People are always amazed how the stone that, first of all, what I do with my clients is that we look at the age of the stone that they pick for the divination. And it's so that alone is mind blowing because, 500 billion years, or more. I mean, we can't comprehend. Our body is too small to grasp on all that. So that alone is powerful. And they're very amazed by how much wisdom there is gathered in the stone, and what can open up for them. So yes, but again, it can be done in so many different ways. So I love to explore that. Yeah.
How beautiful. I'm entranced by your work with the stone. I know many of the people who will watch this video and be introduced to you have had experience with stones, with sacred relationship with stones. They're so meaningful in terms of telling about our life journey. Um, the other thing I must say that I'm relating to is your phrase about soul alignment. It sounds
Mhm.
like this is a process that you personally are involved in, and would you share something about that? Is that a part of your work with your clients?
Yes. First of all, I had to go through it myself, you know. When I was telling you earlier, you know, when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time alone, and back then it was okay where I grew up. So there's really a time, a big amount of time where you know, I was in the forest. I was alone and wandering and really, um, well, communicating, hearing, you know, and all that. Um, and I think that I've evolved. I grew up and maybe got a little further away from that. And it is a blessing that I can reconnect with that child that I was, because it was a very magical time, a very magical time. And actually, it was magical and sometimes very powerful, because I had a lot of deals with spirit when I was young, and I had to do certain things, and so it was intense. It was intense, and I am. But I know that they contributed to also a lot of who I was as a kid. Um, I think that being in connection with knowing that it was living, you know, like everything is alive, gave me compassion. I was always seeking to support, you know, schoolmates, or you know, um, so that was very important to me. And also in school, I at one point I remember a picture of a planet, a globe, and all the kids, you know, were holding hands around, you know, everybody has, I mean, a lot of people know that picture, and I was so inspired by that. It really, wow, it was, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to hold hands around the globe, you know, with everyone. So that was very authentic for me back then. And as I maybe went a little away from that, uh, through, you know, having to have a job and a career, which I enjoyed very much. It allowed me to live in the US for 20 years and discover all that I, you know, learned. Um, but coming back to that um, is truly a blessing. And yes, my soul was very, you know, um, I would say singing loud, you know, as a kid about what I had to do, and now I get to do that. And it took a lot of step. It took a lot of experiences. It took a lot of lessons. And again, without those lessons, I wouldn't be able to reconnect with what's authentic for me. And when I do the work with people, when you know, it's the spirits help for sure. Um, and I can see how the word helps people to reconnect with their heart, with their compassion, and that open up a whole new level of what's authentic for them. So um, it's about healing the past, but also to be able to transform, you know, what was really, really hard, what was dark, what was painful, into something really brilliant. And that's really heartwarming to experience that, to be in, you know, in front of someone that got to discover that this is the best gift, you know. And um yes, we have to go through those experiences, and we have to heal them so we can go back to our true self, to our authentic self, to our soul and heart desires. Yeah.
I know, Celine, that you have a certain protocol of working with new clients, involving a preliminary session, a healing, and then a follow-up. Is that the kind of protocol you suggest for someone who wants to work with you or introduce themselves to you to see if there's a fit?
Yes. So first of all, I like to, meet the person that is online or in person when it's possible. But most of the time, um, the first hour is to introduce myself, and also for me to ask a few questions to the client and to know if they are at this moment able to do such work. Uh, I'm not a clinical doctor. I'm not, a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. So it's very important for me to know that I'm a match for my clients, and both ways, that the person is able to receive what I have to offer. And also, I ask spirits if it's also a good time, a good good timing to give the healing, to offer the healing to the client. So so I make sure that also the person is comfortable with me and knows about what we're going to do together, and if they have questions they can ask. I also tell them what they can do before the healing. That kind of thing. So and after, by the way. And then we have the healing, and then I like to have like a follow-up call a week later to see what opened up, what happened, what are the maybe some of the breakthroughs, some of the synchronicity, if they have any question, and anything they want to share with me. Yeah, I love to have this follow-up call for sure. Mm.
Um, what would you say the primary work of this initial healing session might typically be? Is there any way to describe your person's experience in this initial time with you?
So sometimes some people have like, like they have a specific request, I want to do something. Then again, it depends on what spirit says. Um, I have to adapt to what they say. The client may want something and spirits say, no, she or he needs that. Um, so I find this quite organic. I explain, and my clients understand. Um, but yes, sometimes, people have never had any kind of shamanic healing. So it's an honor and an enormous responsibility um, to go with the ethics that I've learned, um, to prepare properly before and after. And it's creating a space that is the most ethical, the most peaceful for them to receive the healing. So it's very important in my work to do what I need to do to be at that level, meaning the way I eat, the way, you know, the way I live my life as a ceremony myself first start with me. So it takes a lot of dedication and commitment that clients never get to see that, and it's normal. But just to say that this is the preparation. The preparation is very important to create this very safe space for them to come and receive the healing. That's very, very important to me. That they feel safe, that they can ask questions, and that also my inner self be as peaceful as possible, so the experience can be powerful.
Do you find, Celine, that you have sessions that can resolve concerns or issues in a very short time? Do you prefer mentorship over a longer period? Tell us about some of your client experiences, not to divulge anything, but simply to give a sense to someone who might want to work with you, what that could be like over time.
Yes, I mean, a session, I get the feedback after the session if they choose to do one session. the 2 hour session. And it's not I can't really compare because it's two different things, you know. One time is one time and it addresses, you know, some very specific matter that the person is asking for. Then when I offer 3 months or 6 months follow-up, I mean, it creates such because I think transformation, yes, needs some time, but I can say that um, um, doing the communion of my self-development, wisdom, experience that I've had over the years with shamanic work is so powerful, and it provides fast results. Absolutely, in so many ways, but I would say the number one is how people again get connected with their heart, what's authentic for them, the compassion that they acquire, that they gain toward their families, friends, people in general, and what they can do out of that, and also how they shine, you know, what's authentic for them. That's very fast, I find, with people and this work. And often, you know, people tell me, oh, you know, this person that I change, you know, so that I have all the time, which is uh, really, really uh, confirmation of the work of the spirits. Yeah. So, but again, yes, I think the length allows more time for them to reconnect, because again, it's such you know, when people are open to it, for them to learn so they can practice on their own and reconnect whatever ways is a match for them. So it's different from all of my clients, but they really reconnect with that connection with the living, and that's powerful. It opened up so many doors. Yeah.
It sounds like there's so much that's possible that you really need to meet with someone to begin to explore and just see what the potential of the relationship is really like.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very moving. It's very moving in the way that they resonate with the work, which is more spiritual, the invisible. It's hard to sometimes understand it all, for sure. And then they see what happens in life, you know, what's like really concretely what's happening in my life, what happened. Oh, I saw this animal, it came to me, I never had, you know, I was crying when I saw this animal, you know. So it's, or, you know, I met someone in the street and I spoke to this person, and you know, I created a relationship, and now, you know, I'm seeing this person and I'm bringing her food, I bring her like a hot drink every week, you know. So it can be very different depending on what people resonate with, but it's how they get to learn and heal and share the light that comes out of that.
I really appreciate being able to listen to you, Celine. And I think you've taken us on a beautiful journey about a life changing experience, the intimacy of your work that you prefer, the drumming and the music and the singing that you integrate into your sessions, that you yourself are obviously working on your own soul's alignment, and you can see the impact of that on the people with whom you work. That divination piece about the stones, I'm always interested in that. It feels like stones do have so much information, and something so simple. That's what I love about shamanism. Something so simple can be deeply guiding and reflective. Um, and finally, you've told us a bit about your protocol and how you would like to get together with people, and how they might approach a first session with you. I know you have a special offering that I'd like to get to in a moment, but is there anything else you'd like to share about yourself or your practice, or to invite people to work with
I think that life given me a lot of experiences, that it be health related, relationship related, work related. I got them all, and I was able to survive them all. So I'm very grateful for that. And so I think learning from those and being able again to remembering really what my soul is here for, is essential, because I really transform my life in so many ways, and I feel that this is right for what's needed right now. It feels very, very, very I would say, I don't know if the word is good, but useful. And again, I don't like to say I'm here to help. This is not what I'm here for. I'm here to be with the person as they discover themselves, as they transform themselves. So, it's a repercussion. It's like, when you throw a stone in the water and it makes echo. That I love that. I love that very much. And if we can do that all together, with shaman directories and all the communities around the world, that moves me. It moves me very much.
Well, since you mentioned the directory, Celine, what else would you like to say about the importance of Shamans Directory, your membership in it, what place you feel it has in the world, both in the shamanic world and the healing of the planet itself?
Yeah, I think that it's important that this practice becomes more, I would say, it's a wonderful way. It's a magical, powerful way to heal and to transform, and to know that that's available, and to have a community to rely on, to know that it's a safe place, to be in contact with, and to have wonderful people depending on where you live. Or it's always interesting. Like, I have people from different places, not only from here, friends, because I live in the US, but it's not very related. But anyway, it's amazing how a teacher or someone who's offering healing can be on the other side of the planet, particularly with this tool that we have today. So it's a reliable source of contacts. So it's definitely very valuable, because it's so easy, to hear stories that could impact our work. So it's good to have this foundation like Shaman Directory. That's a very trustworthy place, yeah, to find people, for sure, to find practitioners and shamans.
Well, we certainly appreciate your membership and participation in Shamans Directory, and simply getting to know a little bit about you, Celine, in this way affirms the whole mission or vision of the directory itself, that to bring people to the forefront, to invite them to share their medicine, to gather around one fire, and to give what we can to the community itself and to the global consciousness. So I really appreciate your participation, your willingness to talk more about yourself, your invitation to your clients, and perhaps this would be a nice time to make your offering.
Yes, I would love to share a poem. So this poem, I this morning I was really called to share it. So, when I said that I was introduced to shamanism from Mongolia with grandmother Shingisa Yangat and Celeste La Joya, I continue to be part of a group to work on the teaching that we received there, and to also respond to when grandmother Shingisa Yangat is calling on us to group for ceremonies. So I continue doing this work, and that poem came during one of our gathering. That was early September. So I like to read this poem to you, all of you. I am the child, she soothes me. I am the child, she soothes me. In return, I am a soothed child. I'm at peace with myself. I am soothed. Oh, mother, your love is so soft. By this song, I share with you the softness that you unconditionally give me. I am, with this soul song, letting you know I am your child. I'm your soul's child. We are your soul's children. We are the circle of life. We are life. We are yours. You are life. My roots are growing and growing deep into you. I'm the flesh of your skin. Oh, Mother Earth, I love you. My heart opens and opens so my unconditional ego can reach the deepest molecules of your strong and beautiful body. I am moved and inspired by the love I have in my heart and soul for you. From the rock to the squirrel, to the fishes, to the oceans, I hear you. From the pine cones that are below me, to the leaves where come the spirits of the wind, I see you, I see your beauty. My heart opens and opens more and more. I'm crying the love I have for you. My joy cannot be contained in my small body. I'm crying to express all the love my heart is singing for you. I love your hills, I love your seas. I love you so my heart can no longer contain the love I have for you. I love you and I cry my love to you. My heart cannot contain all the love I have for you. My joy cannot be contained in my physical heart. I cry because my spirit is feeling all the unconditional love I feel for you.
That's such a beautiful offering. Thank you. That can resonate within us, and I'm sure we'll go back. I want to go back and listen to that again and again.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a powerful experience. And yeah, I'm moved. I'm very moved. It's a message from the spirits for all of us. When I say a poem, I wrote it. There's a little bit of me in it. The spirits wanted it to share that with you. So I'm very grateful for being able to speak those words to all of you.
Thank you. Celine, you have a big heart. You have a big practice. I feel like anyone working with you would find themselves even more vital and actualized and full than they are now. I have no doubt of that. So my final question would be, do you see where your practice is headed? Do you have a sense of what's the evolution or what's the next step? Do you sense your practice in that way at all?
Community, unity, supporting, traditions who need our support. They play a major role for what's in front of us right now. So I really want this practice to become also support for them, giving them a voice and helping them also with whatever they may need. So that's where I want to bring the work, and with that comes, more opportunity to learn and to grow in my practice and to share that with my clients. It's interesting. When I was young, I didn't like to leave my land. So when I would come back from vacation, I was very young again, and I would kiss the ground. and now it feels like I have to leave. I have to go places to enhance the deep roots I have with where I grew up in the Alps and Provence. It's, I always learn about my own ancestors, my own family, my own where I grew up, when I go away, when I when I travel. So I'm learning all that, so then my clients can learn from that as well. So yes, so I see unity and community.
Thank you, Celine. I feel like we're sharing a journey with you. So
Oh, thank you so much for being open. Thank you so much. Thank you for receiving.
my pleasure, and everyone's pleasure who listens to your words, who sees you, and hopefully people will be inspired to reach out to all those who are watching. Thank you so much for joining us in this Shaman to Shaman interview. I've been inspired. I'm sure you have as well. If you'd like to schedule a session with our featured Shamans Directory member, Celine Roche, please visit us at shamansdirectory.com. And through this website, you can also learn about all our other amazing healers and teachers on the directory. What a delight to be with you, Celine. Any final words?
Thank you so much, Wake. Thank you so much for organizing, all this, so people can know me better. And again, thank you to the Shaman Directory for their generosity in creating all this. I know you're taking, personal time to do all this. So I'm very immensely grateful for all that you do. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Celine. Until next time, this is Wake. See you around the fire. Thank you.